So when we talk about Judeo-Christianity and Jewish Messianism, we're not talking about Jews for Jesus. That's a concept which would have been completely unacceptable to Jews thousands of years ago, but rather in this period of time, we're talking about Jews who believed, because we see, as we mentioned also previously, that Messianic expectation, which is very much a part of mainstream Jewish thought, is always waxing, going up at times when things are really bad. We notice that the creation of false messiahs, things like that, are all corresponding to really low periods of time in Jewish history. So Second Temple period, 2,000 years ago, there's a lot of this going on, different splinter sects. And it seems that Christianity probably emerges out of a bunch of sects, more than one possibly, that believed that their spiritual leader was some sort of messianic, a la the Jewish definition, leader. And that's what goes on for first and second centuries. That's what's going on, which means that if polytheists, pagans wanted to join these Jewish splinter sects, they would have to convert to Judaism, a la, the normal definition, which is to be circumcised, to accept the commandments, go to the mikveh beforehand. But basically, to make a very long story short, with all the tumult and chaos that's going on in the land of Israel, first and second centuries, where there's three major revolts against the Romans during this period of time, the final one being Bar Kokhba. Central authority is weakened. Thousands of Jews are destroyed. Communities are destroyed. Massive number of Jews are leaving. It's a very tumultuous period of time, which not only leads to messianic expectation, but it leads to a situation where the situation Israel sort of gets, I would say, almost out of control in terms of leadership. The Sanhedrin, the central court of the Jewish people, will go out of existence by the 4th century. More and more of these polytheistic pagan converts to Judeo-Christianity are joining in. And at this period of time, 3rd century primarily, which is the 200s, you have the split finally between what used to be an offshoot of mainstream Judaism to a totally separate faith. And the person who we previously talked about who's most responsible for that is the Apostle Paul, who, according to what he tells us about himself, his name was Saul. There's no one named Paul running around there. It's not a Jewish name. Saul, who was a rabbinic persecutor of early Judeo-Christians because he thought they were heretics. And then Jesus appeared to him on the road to Damascus, and he does a complete about-face. And he basically, if you read the Acts in the Christian Bible, the Acts of the Apostle Paul, that's kind of the most foundational thought into the creation of Christianity as a separate faith. And that's really the birth of, and then you have a separation between the faiths split completely.